Hello everyone, my name is Askbaronsamedi, the alchemist, and welcome to my channel. So today, I'm going to be doing a spell. I'm going to say some work. It's a two-parter, and the reason why I say it's a two-parter, and let me explain. One, the first half of the spell has to be done inside and consecrated on your altar. As you guys know from my earlier videos, that I believe in the word consecration. Everything has to be consecrated, from your materials to the actual spell work itself. Nothing can be complete if you do not add that intent and that spirit. Nothing matters unless you have that intent and that spirit to go along with it. So with that being said, today I'll be doing some work for a friend. This is an actual ritual I'm doing, or preparation and everything, getting this prepared for a friend. I should say a client, but he's also my friend. Lord help him. When it comes down to it. So today we're going to be doing a protection spell and a spell to protect you against your enemies. Now, before I do this, I'm going to explain to you guys that this is nothing. This is nothing bad. This is nothing where, people doing work for people and they're sending out stuff to hurt people and harm people. This spell has nothing to do with this. This spell right here is if somebody hits you or somebody is thinking about hitting you, it's going to hit them first. Just a simple thought and the intent that your enemy may have to harm you, this is the spell you would use to hit them first. Because at the end of the day, we all want to be protected. We all want to make sure that nothing is going to happen to us in our families, our finances. And that's what this spell do. I don't know the actual name of it. I know some spell got names. I don't know the actual name of it. But this spell has been passed down to me again from my great-grandma. This didn't come from my grandma. This came from my great-grandma. Keep in mind, we're from Barbados, so this has a lot of Caribbean descent. And it's a twist. I've heard my friends within the Haitian community, they do it one way. My friends within the Trinidadian community do it one way. But this is the way that I was taught how to do it. So without further ado, let's start. I've taken the opportunity of preparing partially because it's such a drawn out, tedious spell. So I'll start off by explaining the items as I work with them. So first, we'll be dealing with the Orisho Shango, or in the Saints world, Saint Barbara. They're both the same, just different cultures, different tongues, different ideologies, but they're both the same. Fire, axis, protection, you know the deal. So Shango loves wine. He loves sweet red wine. Shango also loves palm oil, as do a lot of the Orishas. Right here we have a Shango candle. I could have got a Saint Barbara candle, but they come normally in orange. But this right here requires a red and white candle, or a red or white candle. You can use both, but me personally, if I'm doing work to call upon the entity, I'm going to use the candle with his name on it. My preference. You guys have yours. So we have the red wine, we have the candles, we have bananas. These are very important. Let me tell you something about bananas. Bananas are the fruit of the king. All kings have banana. I mean, all kings love it. Kings, kings, kings. You give a king a banana, back in the old days in the spiritual world, you would give a king a banana, you would be telling him that, he had a hard, because the banana represent the phallics of the man, the king, the pharaoh, the emperor. So bananas, all kings love bananas. So this spell has to do with at least 4 bananas. So we got 4 bananas. We got red string. We have a red bowl. a white bowl with red trimming. This is very important. This spell does not work unless you have the proper ingredients. And this is what we have. So I'm trying to speed this up because it's a two-parter, and I want to get the preparation work. Then, as you know, it goes to my altar over here to where it consecrates and everything for about 6 to 7 days. And then I'll be bringing you guys the second part, telling you guys, showing you guys the outlook, how it looks, and then I will have to call my friend and he'll have to take it the rest of the way because it's not a spell for me. It's a spell for him, and I'll explain that to you in the second video, the second part of this. So again, without further ado, here we go. So first thing first, we want to take our bananas. We want to take our bananas. We want to take at least 4 bananas. You're going to wrap these bananas. You're going to smear palm oil, red palm oil, organic. You can get this from your local health store, food store, grocery, whatever. I order mine off of a line from a Botanica friend of mine, or I go in his shop, Botanica San Miguel, on Pine Hills Road in Orlando, Florida. Shout out to my good friend. So, first thing you want to do, you want to take a banana, you want to smear it in a generous amount of red palm oil. You want to take that banana and you want to wrap it in red string. Some people don't use as much string as me, but hey, it's for my saints, and I'm asking them for a favor. I'm gonna make this as beautiful as I can. So you wrap the banana in red string, and you're gonna do about 4 of these. So again, I must say, a lot of people leave the peel of the banana on. I don't think my saints need to work that hard to eat. So I want them to be able to go at this meal because I want them to work fast. I don't know who's planning anything for me. So I need them to be able to have access to this and accept this with love and grace and saying, wow, and know that he really put a lot into this. So again, you take a banana, you peel it, you rub red palm oil all over it, a generous amount. You take your time and you wrap a red string around. We're going to do about 4. I took the liberty of doing about 2 or 3, but I'm going to do 2 more with you right now on the camera so you can see what I'm talking about. Then you place it in the bowl. 1, 2. Here's the third one. As you can see, it's got a little coloration on it. I already rubbed the little palm oil on it. So I'm just going to take my string and I'm going to wrap it. I must add, leave a little bit of the string off because you're going to have to tie a knot. This doesn't work unless you tie a knot. So you take your time and you go 1. Just make it as pretty as you want. You can put 1 wrap around it, 2 wrap around it. Me personally, I just go ham. I try to do as much wrapping as I can because, again, the more intent you put into it, the better your results. It's like anything else you do. So while I do this, let me tell you a little bit about Shango if you don't already know. So they say Shango is the Lord of Fire. Shango is the Lord of Fire, transformation, everything. He's the party starter. He's the go-getter. When Shango in the building, everybody has fun. You know, his children are typically firemen, you know, people, movie stars, people who really know how to get down. Also, his ruling planet will be Mars. His ruling planet would be Mars, you know, for war. And his zodiac sign would be that of the Leo. Hey, hey. You know, Leo bring fire. It's a fire sign, so, you know, why wouldn't it be? So you take this one, you wrap this one, and you're gonna do about 4 of them, and you tie knots. Me personally, I like to do 3 knots on each one. 1, 2, 3. And the reason why I like to do 3 knots because I believe in the Holy Trinity, in whatever form and fashion it may be. I believe in the Holy Trinity and the Father, Son, Holy Spirit. You never want to leave them out of none of the work you do. You never leave them out. So I take another one. I take a nice size one. Peel it. As an added bonus, what was showed to me as a kid when doing this particular spell here is I never would have thought about it. I never heard anybody else talk about it. So I'm just going to put a generous amount on here. I never heard anybody else talk about it, and I'll explain it to you. Put a generous amount of palm oil, red palm oil. They like this. He like it. The majority of the male Orishas like it, especially Ilegba, Eligua, depending on your native tongue, how you say it, what culture you're in. They love it. Smear it all over here, nice and good. Generous amount. Generous amount. I'll sit this here. And then, again, you're going to take your string and you're going to wrap it. There's nothing clean about this spell. So be prepared to get your hands a little dirty, a little sweaty, a little greasy. But then again, if you're protecting your finances and your person and your kids and your family and your enemies are knocking at the door, you don't want to do anything pretty. You want to get down and dirty along with them, but you want to be classy about it. So don't mind the dirt, the filth of the mess, I should say. Just as long as you're making sure that you're protecting yourself. And as you do this spell, you want to, as you prep this spell, I should say, you want to make sure your intent is going in here, that you want to keep your mind focused on making sure that these Orishas love it. Put all your intent, sing a song if you have to. I can't sing worth the crap, but in my mind I'm singing really good. You make that and you sing a song to give your intent. It's an old song my grandma used to sing from church. I ain't gonna sing it, but it's one I like now. I don't know if it's trademark infringement if I sing it, but I'll just say, you got, this means war. I plead the blood. I plead the blood. And that's the song I sing in my head when I'm doing this particular spell right here. So again, we got 3, 1, 2, 3. Now there we have 3. And I'll show it to you guys. Let me wipe my hands first. As I say, it does get a little messy here, but we're all family. Let me put this in the receptacle. There we go. It does get a little messy. Lay it back on here. I'll put this down. So this is how your finished results should look. Put it up there. You have 4 bananas, unpeeled, wrapped in red string, in a white bowl with a red border. This is how this is supposed to be. So now, this is the beginning of the spell, right? So I mean, this is nothing. So it has to be done in a 2-parter. Now, the way I was raised, the way I was explained to me from my family in Barbados, was we take an egg. And the symbology of the egg is you want this egg to absorb all of the negativity that's going to come your way. While this spell is going on, this egg stands in as a substitute for you. So it's a raw egg, uncooked, unboiled. It stands in as a substitute for you. Again, we rub palm oil on it. We put it in here. Just a little palm oil. You can rub it on there. You can dab it on there. But it's an offering and they like palm oil and you want to know, so bam. I just put a little palm oil on it, sort of like an Easter egg. And just set that in the middle. So that's how we do that. Now that we have this mix set up like this, now it's all in the preparation of how we do it. Now again, I'm going to go over here to my altar. This is the basics of it. But again, let me tell you who you'll be doing this to if you missed it in the beginning. This is a spell to Saint Barbara in some cultures and other cultures. In my philosophy, Saint Barbara is known as Shango. You know, the God of fire, the Lord of fire. He loves wine. And we're going to put all of this on the altar because we're basically going to place it at the foot of Sambara, aka Shango, before we take it to a palm tree, before I have my client come and pick this up in 7 days or whatever. So it will take the bananas time to rot. And by the time this candle burn out, these bananas should be soggy, rotten, and everything. And he is instructed to take this to a palm tree and set it at the base of the palm tree and say the prayer of protection that he feels is best for him. I'm not going to say a prayer of protection right now. Only thing I want to do is just consecrate my altar and ask that Shango, whose veve I have drawn on my altar, you know, accept this offering. Accept this offering on behalf of my client and my friend, and to look into a situation and to, you know, and to begin the battle cry, the fixes and the removal of his enemies and the protection of his finances, his family, and his business, mainly his business. So again, I'm gonna pause the video right here. In our next scene, you'll see my altar and me placing the items on top of it and lighting them, and it'll be I hope you guys enjoy this, and this is something you can do very simple. Okay, everybody, so I've taken the liberty of moving everything over to my altar and setting it up, and I'm going to explain everything that's on this altar to you in a way that you may have set it up as yourself. As you watch my earlier video, I explained why my altar is set up. I have 5 veves on my altar, but the main altar is dedicated to Elekba or Papa Legba or Eligua, depending on what culture, what tongue you speak. And I have 4 additional veves on here because these 5 orishas is who I like to deal with. I like to deal with this veve here, which is that of Shango Sambarbara, who we will be asking to consecrate this spell and to accept this offering. For in return for his protection against our finances and our livelihoods, our persons. And then over here we have the veve of Oshun. Again, if you want to see how it's drawn out, how it actually looks, go to my earlier video. It's clear. It doesn't have all of the consecrated materials on it. Then we have that of Oya, fierce warrior. She's bad, y'all. She's underrated in my book, but hey, she is one of my favorites, and she gets down. And then we have Papa Ogun. As you know everything about Ogun, he bought that business. He turned his enemies to blood. And right now, if you have issues or you want to protect yourself and your family from anything, you need to have him up in the mix. But Ogun, Shango, and Eligua, when those 3 come together, man, you got something you got a force that can't be reckoned with. You know, it's just the saying. So again, this is how I like to set it up. This is how it should be set up. The 4 bananas with the red ribbons around them. The bonus from my culture, Barbados. The egg dipped in palm oil as well. And the egg is there to represent you, as to draw all the negativity, all the hatred, the malice, all of the bad to you, to that egg in representation of you, until you can take it to the palm tree and have him officially accept it. So right now what we're doing, we're going to consecrate it. Now I like to tell you guys this. I love, anytime you do a spell of protection or doing work for protection, I love Psalms from the King James Holy Bible. I love reading Psalms. Psalms is where it's at. It protects. And when I say that it protects, I mean in Psalms 140 to be exact, is the prayer or the Bible verse you would use to assist, to ask Shango, Saint Barbara, to assist you in this spell. So without further ado, I'm gonna set that up, and I'm gonna get to saying that prayer on camera with you guys. And keep in mind, this is the first part. If you want to know how the continuation of a spell work, the second part of the spell, you tune into the second video, because I'll put this part 1 up there, and then after 7 days I'll put part 2 up here, and you'll see the other part of it, because there's extra steps in this. So but first of all, before we get into that, it is very important that you burn. It is very important that you place an effigy of Saint Barbara, either or Shango, on this altar when you do this spell, because there's a lot of deities that'll protect you, but this particular spell right here, you need Shango, Saint Barbara, again, whichever tongue you want. So I place him here in the midst of it. His veve is here. I place him there, and he is the one that's we're giving this offering to. This is his effigy, his image. So again, I'm gonna light my candles, starting with the white for purity, to let him know my intentions are pure, and this is all about sustaining myself and my family. Next, I'll go over here and I'll light the red. Let him know I'm passionate about my family. I love them and I want him to protect them. Then I light the one for him to say, hey, I see you, I recognize you, and I accept you. Now with those 3 being lit, I'm gonna explain it to you before I get into saying the prayer, reading Psalms 140 and everything. I'm gonna explain to you what I got up here. Again, I have a white candle here to show my intents are pure. That white candle show that I have pure and sincere intent, that I'm not trying to hurt anybody, I'm not trying to harm anybody. I just want to be protected and safe. That's represent my pure heart. Now when it comes down to the red candle, this represent my passion. I have a red candle up here to represent my passion, my love, and all what I would do to protect what's rightfully mine and protect my family and my livelihood and everything of that nature. Then I have the Shango candle in representation of him, to let him know, hey, I respect you, I honor you, I cherish you. You are the king of the Orishas. So, not their God, not their king, but he's just a predominant figure. I apologize. But let you know that he is king of his household, his castle, and we need his burning protection, his fire to cleanse and rid our lives of any and every obstacle that come about. Now this, because he likes sweet red wines, I poured him a glass of red wine from his own bottle. And that bottle, I took a sip of it. I shared the drink with him to let him know that, hey, this isn't bad, this is poison, and I want to celebrate this with you, and I thank you. Then I poured him some in his wine glass. Then I got a piece of driftwood from the ocean. I always like to keep a piece of driftwood up here for him, because fire burns wood, wood feeds fire. It's his thing. Second, then I have an axe up here. As everybody knows, Shango carries an axe. Shango carries an axe, and I always put an axe up here. And I like this one here from the Yu-Gi-Oh set, because it has the all-seeing eye in it, because I want Shango to look down on everything and see all of my enemies. So I have an axe, and I place that on the altar to let him know I'm giving him his weapon. I'm giving him all the tools that he needs to protect me and my family and my property. And this is and again, I'm doing this for an actual client, but I get so in the moment, because I feel the spirit, and I know I got faith that everything is going to happen in the proper way it's supposed to, and everything is going to be protected. I pass this on to myself, because anybody who's doing work with you and for you, if they don't feel your pain, your agony, your stress level, then it's just play to them. But enough of that. So again, we have everything on the altar that we need. Now, without further ado, I'm going to read this prayer, and this is the prayer that should go along with this spell. This is Psalms 140, King James Version, and I'm just going to read the brief parts that need to be said, and I think you guys can read the whole thing And me personally, I would do this 7 times. It'll get tiresome to you. But while this is consecrating, I would do this 7 times. And once a day, every day, until the middle candle burn out, or until all of them burn out. I will say this prayer right here. So without further ado. Deliver me, O Lord, from the evil man. Preserve me from the violent man, which imagine mischiefs in their heart. Continually are they gathered together for war. They have sharpened their tongues like a serpent's adder. Poison is under their lips. Selah. Keep me, O Lord, from the hands of the wicked. Preserve me from the violent man who have purposed to overthrow my goings. The proud have hid a snare for me and cords. They have spread a net by the wayside. They have set gins for me. Selah. I said unto the Lord, Thou art my God. Hear the voice of my supplications, O Lord. O God, the Lord, the strength of my salvation, Thou hast covered my head in the days of battle. Grant not, O Lord, the desires of the wicked. Further not his wicked devices, lest they exalt themselves. Selah. As for the head of those that compass me about, let the mischief of their own lips cover them. Let burning coals fall upon them. Let them be cast into the fire, into the deepest pits, that they rise not up again. Let not an evil speaker be established in the earth. Evil shall hunt the violent man to overthrow him. I know that the Lord will maintain the cause of the afflicted and the right of the poor. Surely the righteous shall give thanks unto thy name. The upright shall dwell in thy presence. So mote it be, so mote it be, so mote it be. If you guys read Psalms 140 once a day for at least 7 days while this is being consecrated, when it comes down to part 2 of this ritual, of this spell, of this work, whatever you want to call it, I guarantee your enemies will have been taken care of. This is an old time spell. It is a very easy spell to do, but it takes a lot of intensity and desire and passion to get it. That's why that red candle is involved. It takes a lot of purity, pure heart, pure soul, because you're not trying to hurt nobody. You're just trying to protect you're trying to protect what you got and what you have. So it takes a pure heart. And that fire is everything. So that's part 1. So join me for part 2, which I should have uploaded in about a couple days, 7 days from now. You know, with the other part, and I explain to you how I do the other part and how it goes. My client, I asked him would he like to be on camera, and he said no, because he's a predominant businessman here in Central Florida, and he said no, he wouldn't. So, but he said that he'll leave a comment down below. So I think you guys should too. So again, that's how we do that. Psalms 140 is the prayer you would pray once you do this. The way this altar is set up with the effigy and the candles and the wine and the driftwood and the 4 bananas and the egg and the white bowl with the red trimming, this is how this spell should look. This is how this should look when you're done. I would like to thank you guys again for tuning in to this video. Now keep in mind, this is part 1 of a 2-part ritual work spell that I'm doing. And this is a protection spell, a spell that's a spell that's designed to protect your interests, your finances, your family, your money. This spell wards off all enemies. This is nothing this spell is not going to harm anybody intentionally unless they feel like doing you harm. So like I stated in the beginning of this video, if there's a person that wishes to do you harm, and the intent is there, and the action that they made up their mind do it, and they actually put that thought process into action, this spell right here is going to send all that back to them. It's going to bust them up, break their knuckles, and they're going to understand exactly what it is. They're going to know exactly what it is not to mess with you and who they shouldn't be messing with, because they don't know you got the power of the universe on your side. You got the power of the universal fire which is Saint Barbara, aka Shango. You got the power of one of the most powerful orishas within the Orisha pantheon. So again, just a quick recap. For a ritual work and a spell like this, you would want to read Psalms 140 every day until the candle burns out, until the bananas become rotten, because that's the second part of it. Until the candles run out and those bananas become rotten, you want to read Psalms 140 every day, at least once a day, twice if you can, 7 times if you really understand what it is if you really feel like you need protection and you know your enemy and you know how strong they are, or you know they hold a little prevalence over your life in some form or fashion, and you know they can harm you and your family, your finances, I would read Psalms 140 every time I get a urge. I'll go to my altar where this spell is being done and read Psalms 140. And here's a good thing about Psalms 140. It can be read just anywhere throughout the day. You can be driving in your car, pull over, read Psalms 140. You can be walking around your office, go in the bathroom, pull up your smartphone, type in Psalms 140 and read it out loud. Say it in your brain, say it out loud. Just get Psalms 140. This prayer right here is a protection prayer. The perfect prayer to use for this ritual work, what we're doing right now. So, again, join me for part 2 of this video, which I should have uploaded in about 7 days. Join me for part 2. So remember, if you like what you saw on this channel, click the like button. If you feel this can help somebody else get over their problem, share it. And if you really, really enjoy what you're seeing in the teachings, subscribe. I'll do my best to be here for you, because that's what we're put here to do. And just remember, trust the you and universe, because at the end of the day, you are all you have. Thank you. May God bless.